Ladies and gentlemen, meet George.
Remember John F. Kennedy Jr.? He was declared the front-runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found. Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement. In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy.
First time she's on George magazine is on the Survival Guide to the Future. The second time she's on it is with Tom Hanks, and it says Sex in High Places. And then we move into the year 1999, where it says Why Hillary Won't Be Senator. Hillary on the cover of George magazine 6 times, and none of them in a positive light. Certainly interesting, especially given the timing.
It's time for the mystery guest. He is the editor-in-chief of this fine magazine, George, the nation's largest political magazine. He and the editors of George have a new book out, just came out today, the Book of Political Lists. Very funny, very interesting. Please welcome John F. Kennedy Jr. So this was fascinating, because this is a great sort of reference book, just looking up odd things. It's a book of celebrity lists. What is your... political I'm sorry, political list.
Political, celebrity.
It's almost the same. What is your favorite? What is your favorite?
Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, we tried to basically have a kind of a resource book about politics that also had some funny things in there, and so that the whole problem with politics is people often think that it's dull and boring, and they don't really appreciate some of the drama or some of the history or some of the funny parts. So there are everything from code names of presidents to Jimmy Carter's list of 10 favorite desserts that he insisted to Richard Nixon's protocol at state dinners.
What was the women? What was it? The women that ran for president?
Women who ran for president who couldn't vote for themselves.
Well, that's what's fun. It makes you realize there's nothing new, really, under the sun.
Well,
I mean, everything that's been done has sort of been done. Yeah. But it's very funny, just odd facts about various political figures. Well, listen, it's, of course, the book of political lists, and, of course, George's Magazine. Thanks so much for coming. It's really a pleasure to meet you.
Good afternoon. I have just met with the White House staff to basically talk with them a little bit about the death of my friend of 42 years, Vince Foster. It is an immense personal loss to me and to Hillary and to many of his close friends here, and a great loss to the White House and to the country. As I tried to explain, especially to the young people on the staff, there is really no way to know why these things happen.
Explain it. Is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
Breaking tonight, new fallout from Donald Trump's latest attack on Hillary Clinton. He's taken some heat after bringing up the story of Vince Foster in a recent interview with the Washington Post. Multiple investigations have found that Foster, who worked in the Clinton White House, took his own life. But critics are saying Mr. Trump was trying to suggest something else when he told the Post, quote, whether it's Whitewater or whether it's Vince or whether it's Benghazi, it's always a mess with Hillary. And he went on from there.
Really classify them all as scandals, and I think there's been some mistake in doing that. The Paula Jones thing is a scandal. Jennifer Flowers is a scandal. What disturbs me most about this administration is that they have engaged in a pattern of abuse of power. And this abuse of power is very threatening, I believe, to all our civil liberties. This is one of the reasons why, on the Foster case, I've pursued this, not because it's an interesting unsolved mystery, but because time and again, we know that there's evidence of wrongdoing, that there were officials who knew that there were evidence of wrongdoing, and nothing has been done. We know that 4 of the paramedics did not believe it was a suicide, 2 were very forceful in saying that it was a murder, 1 classified the death in his official report as such. We know another one says very categorically, and there's some evidence to support this, that there was a bullet hole or trauma to Foster's neck. We know that there was a medical examiner who was used by the White House, Dr. Cyril Wecht, who told the Senate Banking Committee, you need to do a second autopsy here. Overwhelming problems. I've never seen a case like this before. He said for a VIP where there's so much missing evidence on critical issues.
Say this.
So the way that it works, so he's 48, father of 3. He had been really a big deal and considered a white knight, a good guy in Arkansas. And he was Hillary Clinton's mentor at the Rose Law Firm. He comes to Washington to help them out. He's put in as deputy White House counsel. He's helping these people get ready for confirmation. Their confirmations go down in flames. The Clintons fire everybody in the White House travel office. He's in charge of the investigation into that. And everybody's saying, and it's being saying in the Wall Street Journal editorial page and everywhere else, this is a cover-up, this is a sham, this is a disaster. And he sees his reputation that was once so sterling shredded. He starts freaking out. He gets on antidepressants from his hometown doctor, but he is coming unwound, and everybody says so. And that's why people think that they say he was covering something up, or the Clintons were covering something up. He knew and was going to blow the whistle on it, and that's why, says the internet, something more happened.
It was an out-of-control week, and then you tap on Congressman, the former director of the FBI leaked it out.
That was amazing, Sam, that he admitted he leaked it. It's like, oh my gosh.
Bro, that's
Are
pretty...
you kidding me?
That's... You got the fact that he's like, he's a disgruntled employee, and we've all been fired, and you hate your boss when you get fired, and you're like, I'm going to get him back. But generally, your husband or wife says, oh, go have a beer and look for a new job. He leaks out a memo. That poor law professor at Columbia is probably like, dude, what did you bring my name into this for? And then we find out that the Obama White House's attorney general was trying to clamp down on his speech about Hillary's investigation.
Oh, Sam, you know that, hey, it's awfully strange that Mr. Clinton bumped into Miss Lynch there in, I guess it was, Vegas or Phoenix or somewhere out there?
Phoenix, Arizona.
The day before she may be indicted, they just happened to pass, and it wasn't a terminal, Sam, it was on a tarmac. They expect us to think that it's like Bill was driving by and said, hey, there's my girlfriend, Roletta, stop the plane, I got to talk to Roletta right now. I guarantee you they had the conversation. And he basically said, Mrs. Lynch, call your attack dog off. We've killed people. We killed Vince Foster. We destroyed Webb Hubble. We will destroy you. And then what happened next day? All of a sudden, well, she did it. Yeah, it was all terrible. Don't know who got the information. Very classified, but no indictment.
Exactly. Congressman Olson.
Tell you in politics, you got to watch who you follow.
And only being a politician for a few years, I said, what a terrible mistake that she used the word irredeemable. But it turned out to be deplorable. Deplorable was not a good day for Hillary. Crooked Hillary. She is a crooked one. She's crooked. She is crooked.
You know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Of this extraordinary magazine, George, which is a hoot of a magazine. I thought you were a lawyer.
I was.
What happened?
Well, we decided, actually taking a cue from folks like yourself and you around the 1992 election, that there was an opportunity here to change the definition of a political magazine. Certainly the way Americans were accessing information about politics and politicians was changing. Candidates were appearing on late night talk shows, on talk radio, on sitcoms, and there was a kind of a leveling process, and while the rest of media clearly had caught up with that, we felt that political magazines per se hadn't.
Your mother was a hell of an editor at Doubleday.
That's what I hear.
Would she have liked George?
I think she would have.